and our technology leaders under the aegis of innovation and new technologies. The conference has two segments. One is ministerial and second is technical. In the ministerial segment, Shri Sanjay Bhattacharya, Secretary PPV and OIA, will give a welcoming remarks, and then which will be followed by Minister of State Shri V. Muralidharanji's keynote address. In the technical session, we are really happy to have Shri Amitabh Kant as a special speaker. He's CEO Niti Aayog. And then that will be followed by 7 panelists, 2 from India and 5 from across the globe. Also, I would request that each panelist will be given around 5 to 6 minutes, so kindly be in that time schedule. And after that, there will be a Q&A session. Now let me hand over to Shri Sanjay Bhattacharya.
Thank you. Thank you, Manika. Shri V. Muralidharanji, Minister of State for External Affairs, Shri Amitabh Kant, CEO Niti Aayog, the outstanding panel of panelists and youth members across the world. Namaskar and Swagat. This is really a very special occasion for us to host this Youth PBD session today. Its significance arises not only from the timing, but also from the participation that we have sought out for this event. As we all know, the 9th of January marks the return of Mahatma Gandhi from South Africa to India. And that was a time when he started his move to galvanize the movement for national independence and to take the people of India into that spirit. In many ways, today, as we are celebrating the 75th anniversary of independence, Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, there is a sense that there is a similar feeling of galvanizing our people across the country and our diaspora across the world towards integrating and amalgamating them towards the national development agenda. It is also opportune because 25 years from now, we will be celebrating the centenary, and preparations are already underway for India Vision at 2047. As you can all imagine, in 2047, it's going to be a very different world. According to the World Bank estimates, India will be an economy with a GDP of over $10 trillion. The per capita income of every Indian, in nominal terms, will be over $10,000. And we will be much higher on the HDI indices. Further, we shall be a global player and a norm setter. And I believe this is what brings in the significance of the participants today, because the youth of today will be shaping this future that we hope to create for our nation, particularly the millennials. How you guide yourself and the aspirations that you chase will make India the way it will be in the days ahead. As we all know, we are in an era of transformations. Technology is changing so dramatically and rapidly that it is almost difficult to keep pace. But those who stay ahead of the curve reap the benefits. Secondly, this is also the era of innovation. Innovation in every sector that makes a change in the way people interact with each other and adds value to their lives. Startups are the buzzword today. And thirdly, we find that there are enormous structural changes, both of institutional, political, cultural, economic, that are rapidly changing the world around us and will have far-reaching consequences. And therefore, I hope that today we will discuss some of the issues for the future. Some of these will be new and emerging issues, and some of them, particularly the values and principles, are as old as human history. So I thought I would touch upon just a few of them because they may be more relevant for the youth of today. First, data is the new gold. Of course, this is something that is used very widely to improve our lives, to make advances in science and technology, and even in social planning. So the question is, how do we use data for development, for social good, as a public service? Can we move towards a regime that is more data-driven, more evidence-based policy? I would like to hear from our participants about this. Second, digital processing has become the buzzword which is dictating the manner in which most interactions, business and social, take place. Your communications today in the social media, for instance, are so largely in the digital space. But even in the business and technology world, with clouds and apps and mobile phones and artificial intelligence, you are actually in a very, very different environment. Thirdly, manufacturing is often left behind because traditional manufacturing has faced several challenges. But there is always a hope, and we know that we have huge potential and talent and knowledge that we can revive and even strengthen our industries and also take advantage of the fourth industrial revolution, the kind of new materials that are coming into being. Can we create hubs that will be the global centers and also build supply chains that will link us with the rest of an interconnected and globalized world? Fourth, energy is critical for any development process because unless we move from our fossil fuel-based regime towards more of new and renewable resources, we would perhaps not be leaving a climate that is more conducive for succeeding generations. The planet would have changed. India has made tremendous advances in advancing the cause of new and renewable energies. You would recall that the International Solar Alliance, which was floated by India at the UNFCCC sometime back in Paris, has gained ground, has got more than 100 members today. The fifth, innovation that I had already mentioned about. India is becoming the major hub of startups. As we know, the vibrant economy is provided by the growth and the development dynamics of India, one of the fastest growing in the world. And so today we see that last year we had about 42 new unicorns that had come into being. And within the short span of 2022, I understand 2 of them have already reached unicorn status. We are doing very well in this particular area, and I congratulate the people who are behind these enormous successes. But we must remember that China and the US are still ahead of us in terms of startup, and there is a lot of catching up for us to do. And that brings me to the 6th issue that I wanted to mention, which is about social issues. We have to keep people and humanity at the center as we move ahead. I know that the young people of India and the youth diaspora across the world have been intensely involved in bringing out new solutions that resolve and address the issues of poverty, inequity, gender, environment, how to keep our forests alive, provide drinking water, education for all, and also how we preserve our heritage. So I think there's a lot of work that's been going on. What is absolutely and amply evident is India is clearly on a path to greatness. Our civilizational and heritage background only provide us with the foundation, which provides us with the source of confidence that our future will be even brighter. So can India be a norm setter, a trend setter? Can our principles and values that are admired across the world become the drivers of modern growth and development? And also, can we become the drivers of modern growth in technology and innovation? I have great hope and faith in the youth of today. They have a very key role to play. They are hugely empowered and enabled with knowledge and aspirations. So we rejoice in your success and we welcome the great discoveries and achievements that you've achieved. And we are confident that you will lead us to a much brighter path for humanity. We welcome you all to this special edition of the Youth PBD, and I look forward to the discussions that will follow. Thank you.
Thank you, Secretary. Now may I invite Kirvi Muralidharanji, Honorable Minister of State for External Affairs, to deliver his keynote address.
Sri Amitabh Kant, CEO, Niti Ayog, Sri Sanjay Bhattacharya, Secretary, CPV and OIA, esteemed panelists and friends, Namaskaram. I am pleased to deliver the keynote address at this youth PBD conference focusing on role of diaspora youth in innovation and technology. At the outset, let me begin by saying that technology today is not just a means for development, but in these times of pandemic, it has become fundamental to our regular functioning. Youth are playing a key role in determining the direction of where our society and the world is moving by bringing technological changes and using it in innovative ways, particularly in social and developmental sectors. Today, in the context of technological development, it's indeed a proud moment for Indians when Indians are becoming global leaders. Our diaspora serves as a living bridge connecting India to the world. It's heartwarming how the members of our large diaspora, while being well integrated into the countries and societies where they live and work, have continued to maintain deep and abiding connections with their motherland and its rich heritage, traditions, and culture. Even as they hold esteemed positions leading from the front in their respective spheres, be it political, economic, cultural, services, or technology, they retain and nurture an abiding bond and interest in staying connected with their roots and upholding their traditions, rites, and rituals, culture, cuisine, and language. From Sundar Pichai to Parag Agarwal, from Rajiv Suri to Leena Nair, several luminaries are proof of Indian youth leadership on the global stage. Non-resident unicorns, building on India's strength in IT and outsourcing, has become the new buzzword. Friends, Indian youth has been making great strides in finding innovative solutions to current problems and is a repository to futuristic thinking. The youth, both from India as well as diaspora community, have made a remarkable journey in innovation, technology, and creativity. All this talent around the world needs a platform to connect from, assist each other, and also share their respective successes and challenges. This Youth PBD conference is one such platform to share experiences, build friendships, and find solutions to the present as well as future challenges. Connecting the youth with each other and with India is an investment for the future of the country which can shape the destinies of the coming generations. Working with the youth diaspora and understanding them better will expand the reach and efficacy of India's engagement with the diaspora. Through this Youth PBD conference, we endeavor to further deepen the engagement with the rapidly growing members of diaspora children who have begun to occupy prominent positions in various countries across the world. Many such youth are involved in high-tech areas and new startups, for example, in finance, e-platforms, and knowledge-based innovations, which are constantly disrupting the established forms of businesses and markets. Friends, India is among the very few countries which has an extensive and evolving policy framework for engagement with the diaspora. The priority of the government led by our Honorable Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi ji is to build everlasting links with the Indian diaspora the world over. Whenever the Prime Minister is overseas, we see a grand welcome to the leader and the enormous shower of love on him. It's actually the faith of our diaspora being reposed on India and their pride in Indianness. Under the Prime Minister's leadership, our outreach to the diaspora has taken new dimensions and evolved in a way where we are moving towards the concept of global India. Various programs have been initiated under the leadership of Honorable Prime Minister to connect to diaspora and collaborate in sciences and technology. I would like to mention some of them. The Vajra Faculty Scheme, launched by Honorable Prime Minister during the PBD in 2017, brings an international dimension to the R&D ecosystem of India. It taps the expertise of international faculty scientists, technologists, including NRI and PIO or OCI, in highly competitive areas of research and development by offering them adjunct visiting faculty positions in Indian institutions or universities. It has special focus on engaging NRIs or PIOs or OCIs in national R&D programs and thereby deepen their engagement for value addition to various S&T programs, projects and missions of the government. Another major initiative is named Prabhas, Pravasi Bharatiya Academic and Scientific Sampark, integrating Indian diaspora with the motherland, is an initiative to develop a database and a virtual platform to bring on board the global Indian science and technology community to address the Indian social challenges and problems. The main objective of Prabhas is to invite and encourage Indian diaspora to come forward and join hands with India to help solve challenges being faced by Indian people, thereby making an impact on society at large. Under the aegis of Prabhas, Prime Minister Sri Narendra Modi ji inaugurated the Vaishvik Bharatiya Vaigyanik Vaibhav Summit, a global virtual summit of overseas and resident Indian researchers and academicians on Gandhi Jayanti, the 2nd of October in 2020. About 2,600 overseas Indians registered for the summit online. About 3,200 panelists and about 22,500 academicians and scientists from India and overseas participated in this month-long series of webinars. These deliberations were aligned with national goals and priorities of research in India. Vaibhav has led the way in establishing research capability as an important avenue towards Atmanirbhar Bharat. It has paved the way for aligning contemporary research in the country towards a shared purpose in each area. Resident and overseas Indians have given an integrated perspective of research and academic capabilities to seamlessly contribute to India's science and technology capability for global good. Vaibhav has created an interactive and facile mechanism in the cyberspace and has promoted collaboration and the development of leadership. Friends, this year is very special to us as we celebrate the 75th anniversary of our independence. Not only in India, but also in all other countries, our missions and posts are celebrating the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav in a befitting manner. In the specific context of engaging the diaspora on thematic concepts and on the special occasion of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav, the ministry has organized at least 3 thematic virtual conferences in the last couple of months. The idea was to engage with the diaspora virtually in spite of difficulties faced because of the pandemic. The topics included leveraging the soft power of India goodwill through craft, cuisine and creativity. Future of natural resources, that is the hydrocarbons, rare earth metals and the blue economy, and the Girmitia conference. I am confident that this conference will also further add to the mutual efforts of the government and the diaspora to bolster the robust connections and ties that have been established over the years. Indian diaspora youth plays an indispensable role in innovation and new technologies at global levels, and also at devising innovative solutions to local problems in India. I feel that the focus should also be on short duration, quick gain projects to address immediate challenges and deliver results in the shortest possible time. Time has come to dissolve the boundaries between private, public, national laboratories, academic institutions towards energizing and aligning national priorities to delivery-based projects, all these things. Friends, on this important day of Pravasi Bharatiya Divas, I again convey my warmest regards to all my brothers and sisters across the globe and call upon them to connect back to their motherland in all possible ways to give shape to the vision of Atmanirbhar Bharat.
I thank Shri V. Muralidharanji, Honorable Minister of State for External Affairs, for this address in the Youth Conference on Pravasi Bharatiya Divas and for sharing his views with the young and dynamic diaspora as well as Indians, and for his guidance. Sir, you said that youth are playing a key role in determining the future direction of the society and the world, and the fact that our diaspora youth is a bridge between India and the rest of the world. Yes, the Indian youth has made great strides in all sectors and have made India proud by the individual achievements across board. They are a repository of futuristic thinking. Youth PBD Conference is one of the platforms to bring the youth members of Indian diaspora together to exchange views, make friendships, and collaborate on the future development of various communities across the country. The Government of India, under the able leadership of Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi, has actively brought out various schemes and projects to engage the youth to harness their energy and creativity for their individual well-being, economic development, and betterment of society at large. So thank you again for your guidance and warm wishes on the Pravasi Bharatiya Divas today. I also thank Shri Sanjay Bhattacharya, Secretary CPV and OIA, for his welcome remarks, elaborating the purpose of this youth conference and setting the tone for today's deliberations. I acknowledge and welcome the presence of Shri Amitabh Kant, Chief Executive Officer, Niti Aayog, who will be our special speaker in the technical segment of this conference. Sir, I thank you for your valuable time and interest in this conference, and we eagerly look forward to listening to your views and direction on the subject. I also thank the esteemed panelists from across the globe who have agreed to share their stories on this platform, despite today being a Sunday, and this conference taking place at an ungodly hour, especially in your part of the world. Thank you. Now we move to the technical segment of the conference. Before I invite the special speaker, let me say a few words. Mr. Amitabh Kant, of course, needs no introduction. However, I will just list a few of his achievements. He is the Chief Executive Officer of Niti Aayog at present and belongs to the IAS fraternity. He has authored many books and papers. Notable ones are Branding India, An Incredible Story 2009, Incredible India 2, Synergies of Growth and Governance 2019, and edited The Path Ahead, Transformative Ideas for India in 2018. Some of the award-winning initiatives under his leadership have been Make in India, Startup India, Incredible India, and projects such as God's Own Country, Atithi Devo Bhava. He is a member of the steering board of Shaping the Future of Production Systems of World Economic Forum and is a champion of the Edison Alliance of WEF. He has won many accolades and awards such as Economic Times Policy Change Agent of the Year Award, the Bloomberg TV Personality of the Year Award, the NDTV Administrator of the Year Award, the One Globe Award for Leadership in Transforming Governance in the 21st Century, and the Global Peacock Award for Leadership in Economic Transformation in 2017. At Niti Aayog, Mr. Kant is driving the Aspirational District Program. He is the chairman of Empowered Group 3 of 11 such groups constituted by the Government of India to tackle the spread of COVID-19 pandemic. He has been at the helm of driving various other national level initiatives such as asset monetization, National Mission for Transformative Mobility, and many more. Sir, I now welcome you to deliver your address.
Thank you very much, distinguished guests, all our young entrepreneurs and fellow panelists. I'm extremely glad to join the youth of our extremely vast and diverse Indian diaspora as part of the Pravasi Bharatiya Divas Conference. Over the past few years, India, as you all know, has witnessed an unprecedented level of digital and technological leapfrogging. In 2021, we added 3 to 4 unicorns every single month. We are now the third largest startup ecosystem in the world. We saw our startups making their market debuts in India and the world. We have been adding a new internet user every 3 seconds. Over 750 million people are accessing smartphones via their mobile phones. 600,000 villages are being brought into the digital highway through their high-speed internet connectivity. We have the world's most unique payment system in the world in the form of unified payment interface, which in 2021, the UPI processed more than 38 billion payment transactions amounting to rupees 71.59 trillion. Be it fintech, health tech, or ed tech, we are witnessing new startups, new solutions emerge every single day. Having liberalized multiple segments which are enablers of technological innovation, we have now liberalized the geospatial and drone segments. India today is the biggest lab for the world to experiment in. Make in India, make for the world, innovate in India, innovate for the world. As a youth of our vibrant Indian diaspora, you have a massive role to play in this for a number of reasons. Firstly, you are young and you must have a thirst to innovate. Secondly, you have a passion to contribute to India and the world towards their development. Thirdly, you act as a bridge between the country you are in, their companies, their products and technologies, and India. And finally, you have access to some of the best resources and ideas of the world. You're all uniquely positioned to contribute to India's unprecedented tech and digital story. As you know, the Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav is dedicated to the people of India who have not only been instrumental in bringing India thus far in its evolutionary journey, but also hold within them the power and potential to enable Prime Minister Modi's vision of activating India 2.0. The power is you, the youth, and the potential for activating India 2.0 comes from the innovative ideas and new technologies that youth like you create that transforms India. I would like to take you all through India's journey of digital transformation, and I want to do this so that young people like you can understand the level of technological transformation and digital disruption happening in India and the massive opportunities available. You can become an integral part of this incredible journey. About 3 decades ago, when I was working in Kerala to improve the livelihoods of traditional fishermen, we did several things. New crafts, new boats, new outboard motors. Opening a bank account for fishermen was a nightmare. It used to take us 10 months to chase physical banks and manage to register a single account holder. Know your customer was an alien concept. Today, as you all know, we can walk into a bank branch in India and open a bank account in less than a minute with KYC and biometric. Reducing the waiting time from months to minutes, digital transformation has truly enabled a paradigm shift, and the concept of a unique digital identity or Aadhaar has been at the core of such transformation. Once we had 1 billion plus biometrics, the next stage was this to drive inclusion, starting with finance, and that gave way to the Jam Trinity. As a result of the powerful Jam Trinity of Jan Dhan bank accounts, the biometric Aadhaar card and hundreds of millions of mobile phones, every household now has access to formal banking services, along with a platform for availing low-value credit, insurance, and pension schemes. Then we revolutionized digital payments through the introduction of the Unified Payment Interface platform. UPI has been a success because the government took a platforms approach on a public-private collaboration model. Evolution of digital payments, with the problem of payments solved, the focus has shifted towards lending on both consumer and MSME-based lending. Then the focus shifted towards personal finance, money management, investment, and trading. Now we are witnessing innovation even in the complex segments such as insurance tech companies. Fintech in India is thriving. Lending Cart, Pine Labs, MobiKwik, Zerodha, Grow, Upstock, Digit, and Acco. These are just some of the hundreds of startups which are thriving, seizing opportunities in this segment. The world's largest health insurance scheme, Ayushman Bharat, has been a game changer, providing contactless and paperless free of cost coverage to 500 million vulnerable citizens. This number is almost equal to the population of USA, Canada, and Mexico put together. Now, with the launch of PM Digital Health Mission, every citizen will get a digital health ID for personalized healthcare, inter-hospital communication, and easy access to healthcare. Once the national health stack is ready, young innovators among you can build top quality healthcare products and services using it. The CoWIN platform has made it possible for a country as vast as India to undertake a fully digital COVID vaccination drive. Today, this app has made it possible for us to have reached the milestone of over 90% of our adult population having been vaccinated. We have almost 61% of our population double vaccinated. And therefore, what we've seen in just a few days since opening up vaccination for children, 1.5 crore children aged between 15 to 17 have now received their vaccine dose. Our Aspirational District program aims at accelerating transformative socio-economic development in 112 districts, some of the most backward districts of India with relatively greater development challenges. In these districts, we are working with a large number of voluntary organizations to bring about a tech and data-driven model improvement in social sector outcomes. Those of you interested in social sector work must look at the unique model and success stories of our Aspirational District program. I invite you to visit our aspirational districts and contribute to grassroots level change using technology. My young Indians, for India to become a global champion, we must focus on robust, inclusive, and sustainable growth to usher in a transformation within a generation. That is why we must aggressively invest in the sunrise sectors of growth. These have the potential to bring high growth for a sustained period of time. I strongly encourage you to embed yourselves into the trajectory of these sunrise sectors of growth in India. Firstly, clean mobility. The world is at the cusp of a mobility revolution which is going to be shared, connected, and zero emission. The revolution would be driven by technological evolutions in different areas of mobility. Rapid transformations in battery technology have led to record fall in prices of lithium-ion batteries, where prices have fallen more than 90% in the last decade to less than about $130 per kilowatt hour. This is catalyzing the global electricity mobility revolution. Secondly, semiconductor and display manufacturing is another area which brings massive growth opportunities. Over the last 5 years, the domestic production of electronic goods in India has grown enormously, and India's share in the global electronic market has tripled. In India, we've launched over a $10 billion initiative to establish a semiconductor and display ecosystem in India. And domestic manufacturing is expected to accelerate and drive down costs. It will directly lead to hundreds of new businesses and formation of high-tech clusters. These will not only drive the consumer electronic market, but also give rise to exciting new applications in IoT, smart mobility, and Industry 4.0. Thirdly, battery storage. With recent technology disruptions, battery storage is a great opportunity in promoting sustainable development in the country, considering government's initiative to promote e-mobility and renewable power. With rising levels of per capita income, there has been a tremendous demand for consumer electronics in a vast range of areas. This makes manufacturing of advanced batteries one of the largest economic opportunities of the 21st century globally. We have now announced the production-linked incentive scheme for manufacturing of advanced chemistry cell batteries, and we'll push for this in a very big way. The government has aiming to achieve domestic value addition while at the same time ensuring that the levelized cost of battery manufacturing in India is globally competitive. And then green hydrogen. India has the potential to be a leader in global green hydrogen story, and through a proactive collaboration between innovators and government, green hydrogen has the potential to drastically reduce CO2 emissions, reduce energy imports, and save precious foreign exchange. It will also help India export high-value green products making it one of the first major economies to industrialize without the need to carbonize. Ladies and gentlemen, cutting-edge technologies such as artificial intelligence, machine learning, and the Internet of Things are driving growth and sustainability. Artificial intelligence solutions championed by the startups are being deployed across the spectrum, from predicting machine failures, providing real-time manufacturing insights. They are paving the way for industries to become lean and tech-driven, and this would allow our industries to become globally competitive. Geospatial systems and maps occupy a fundamental role in visualize, understand, and inform decision-making in all key sectors, be it agriculture, water, industry, environment. These tools are critical in not only supporting regular operations, but are instrumental in deriving key insights that can revolutionize efficiency and create new applications. Geospatial systems have a key role to play in India's economic growth story. The Prime Minister, recognizing the importance of geospatial technologies and its potential to serve as a radical instrument of change, has championed reforms to help boost the ecosystem. The government has taken several definitive measures, steps to overall 3 critical policies that have a direct impact on the geospatial ecosystem, namely the geospatial guidelines, the remote sensing policy, and the drone rules. Ladies and gentlemen, India has undertaken some very ambitious reforms in the past few years. We've sent out a message to the global community. We are open for business and we are very serious about it. I'm very confident that we will emerge as the global export champion and the manufacturing hub of the world in a very short span of time. Large manufacturers are already rushing towards India. We are the hotbed of enterprise innovation. Attributes like cost effectiveness, availability of qualified talent, power, and high quality work has made India a top technology and investment destination. Our ability to develop technological solutions together for a country as vast and diverse as India will also provide us with a unique opportunity to present a roadmap for addressing the needs of billions of people across the world who will move from poverty to middle class in the next decade. Many of you will be wondering, what can I do now that I'm fully aware that you're the most tech-savvy generation? You have the opportunity to interact and understand technology from a young age, giving you the intuitive ability to learn new things. And all of you should leverage that. You're the future of India and the world, and so we want to see your vision for the future. We want you to use the existing platform of technology, apply your innovative minds, and create new technologies that will take India and the world to the next level. Remember, innovate in India and innovate for the world. Thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. Great pleasure interacting with all of
you. Sharing India's development story, whether in innovation and technology, including fintech, digital disruption stories, as well as India Stacks, Jam Trinity, UPI, etc. And also calling diaspora to invest in sunrise sectors such as semiconductor, lithium batteries, battery storage, green hydrogen, geospatial systems, etc. Now I invite our first panelist, Mr. Amit Sudhani, founder and CEO of Coopers.com. Amit Sudhani is the founder and CEO of Coopers, also known as PassageBus.com. Headquartered in Chile, Coopers is the first and biggest ground transportation aggregator platform in Chile. The company offers multiple industry-leading software solutions. Company's SaaS solution has plus 70% market share. The distribution solution of Coopers powers leading platforms Uber, Despegar, Redbus, etc. Over to you, Amit.
Good morning, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes, you are.
Great. Thank you very much for the time and the invitation. Really appreciate it. Amitabh sir, I'm a huge fan of yours. Thank you very much for this wonderful work that you have been doing, and it's amazing to be part of the same panel where you are sitting in. So, well, I'm the founder and CEO of Coopers.com, and we are headquartered in Chile, Santiago. So basically, we are summing up all the frequently used ground transportations in a single platform. And then on the top of this, we have built our proprietary wallet solutions. So we are a leading market solution provider in Chile for over the last 7 years, and now expanding to LATAM market. So Pasaje Bus, which in Spanish is like bus ticket, is the biggest section that we have when we are the market leader in this business. So over 70% of the bus companies in Chile have been using our solution, both from the back end to the front end, and also from the distribution side. Cupos Pool is exactly like BlaBlaCar or Quick Ride from Chile. Then we have some other solutions. We have some exclusive distribution rights and selling rights from the Train Central, which is railways of Chilean government. And then we have some transfer service, and we are summing up, aggregating all the bikes and scooter service in the country. Pasachebus.com, as I mentioned, it provides end-to-end solution, which is mostly like Redbus in India. We have complete backend and the front-end solution. As I mentioned, 70% of the bus companies have been using our solutions. Over the last 5 years, we have moved over 8.4 million people who have used our solution. Train Central, again, the government Train Central is powered by us, and we have been the exclusive distributor of their online inventories in the country. This year, we have taken up a new challenge. So we are building a payment solution for the complete LATAM market, which is dedicated toward transportation and logistics vertical. When we are combining all the transportation providers and some of the key logistics providers, including Mercedes-Benz, DHL, and some other companies who are looking into our solutions and trying to position Cupos Pay, what we call it, as a unique and leading solution for this travel, logistics, and tourism market in LATAM. And then, Cupos Pay is a 360-degree solution that we are building. So that means people can put money across 40,000 points of recharge locations. You can hook up your debit card, credit card, and then we have some other modes when people can recharge their wallet, and you can use it across all the frequently used ground transportation as of now only in Chile. As mentioned, so most of the ecosystem, like whether you go to Google Maps, Despegar, Uber, all of these channels, anybody who's selling this ground transportation ticketing solutions, their backend is completely powered by Pasaje Bus or Cupos in this case. This is our team. So we are backed by Kaufman, which they are representative of Daimler, Mercedes-Benz in LATAM. Then we have Daire family, a leading family in LATAM, leading business family in LATAM. Alberto is the president of our board of directors. He is representing DHL for South America. Make My Trip is also a leading investor in the company, and Prakash from Redbus is our board of directors. So this is all about Cupos and Pasaje Bus, what we're doing in Chile and LATAM, and it would be amazing to see, if we can get some support from the government to further penetrate and to get some key connections in LATAM, in other part of the government of LATAM countries, to connect them faster and to expand, And from this side, if there's anything we can do to support any Indian startups in LATAM market, we are here. We are happy to connect, happy to support. That's all from my side, guys.
Thank you, Amit. Thank you for giving us some in a capsule, what Cupos Pay and Pasaje.com is doing in terms of transport solution, in Chilean market. And we really take your, I'm sure, I think the people who are listening to us, they would be taking this cue that you have offered, that you can kind of help any of the Indian innovators or whatever in furthering this interest, whether in the market in your area, region, or maybe I think so out here. Thank you so much. Now we move to our next panelist. He is Mr. Kiran Rampath, CEO, Kumar Rampath Cricket Academy. Mr. Kiran Rampath is, of course, CEO of Kumar Rampath Cricket Academy from Porto, Spain. The academy has produced West Indian cricketers, including Sunil Narayane Nicholas Puran. This academy has been involved in the development of other West Indies and CPL and IPL cricketers. Jayden Seals, John Russ, Jagesa, Leonardo Julian, Mark Dayal, Jason Mohammed, and Kirsten Kalicharan are playing in CPL. Isundat Magramere, he's able to lend his scientific background to the coaching expertise and guidance of cricketers so as to optimize their performance. I now invite Mr. Kiran to share his views.
Hi, good evening. Can you hear me? Hello, can you hear me? Can you see my slides?
Yes, we can see your slides as well as we can hear you.
Okay, perfect. So, a good day to all distinguished ladies and gentlemen here today, and good night to those in my part of the world. When I was asked about speaking today, I wondered whether I should talk more about my engineering or more about cricket. And realizing that we're doing this conference in Akkam, I immediately knew I should talk about cricket. You see, India and the West Indies have always been linked by two interrelated parallels, liberation and cricket. And as we celebrate the Akkam, I hope that you indulge my brief time machine trip back first to the mid-20th century. August 1947, India achieves independence. This one we know. However, it's important to note that Indian independence resonated throughout the West Indies as well, and it conceived our own West Indian independence thinking. January 1953, Vijay Hazare is the first non-white captain of a cricket team to ever tour the West Indies. This test match broke the record for spectators in Trinidad. More importantly, seeing an Indian captain for the first time created an awakening in the West Indies that a colored man can lead. 1954, on the heels of that Indian tour, there were riots in the West Indies for Sir Frank Worrell to be named the captain instead of Dennis Atkinson. And in 1958, independence freedom fighter CLR James launched a scathing attack against racial decisions in the West Indian captaincy. 1960, Sir Frank Worrell is finally appointed the captain, first colored man in the West Indies, and this itself was a catalyst for independence. And in 1962, 2 years after that, Trinidad and Jamaica became the first territories to gain independence. You see, the West Indies took inspiration for independence from India. However, it was Vijay Hazare's team in 1953 that solidified the thinking that West Indians can lead ourselves. Cricket has been pivotal to our society, and today I wish to speak a little bit about our academy's contribution in the realm of cricket. So who is the KRCA? It's a first of its kind private high-performance full-time cricket academy in the Caribbean. Founded by Kumar Rampat, he has 40 years coaching experience, and he has been all over the world coaching. We fondly call it Cricket Factory because we seemingly have a production line of talented players, including Nicholas Puran, Sunil Narayan, and Jayden Seals. Who are key people? Kumar, my dad, he coached for most of his life, and he's been coaching in over 25 countries. My brother, he used to accompany him throughout his coaching, and now he has over 15 years experience of himself. And KRCA started informally as a result of people continually asking to be trained by either or both of the two Rampats. Eventually, Vasu, he left his full-time job at the university and went into full-time coaching. And he now leads the staff at KRCA of 7 coaches. What about our track record? Currently, we have 5 West Indies senior team players, 6 first-class players in the Caribbean. We have 6 more on the West Indies under 15 and under 19 youth teams, and over 35 players on the Trinidad youth teams. Ladies and gentlemen, for one cricket academy in Trinidad, producing enough players for an international team, this track record is outstanding. I also pause to point out that the vast majority of persons named here are of the Indian diaspora. What is it that leads to our success? Customized approaches for players, innovative and creative techniques. More importantly, though, it's really the scientific pedagogy of teaching and learning that we apply. For instance, on the left, we have Aditya. He's bowling through an artificial corridor to constrain his limbs. And on the right, we see him clocking 74 miles per hour. He's only 15 years old. Here we have two images of some biomechanics works with John Ross Jagisa in 2020. Differences in bowling to left-handers versus right-handers. Made some minor adjustments to his run-up, and he led his team to victory in 2021. And these two clips, we have Nicholas Buran batting some of his deliveries, working on his drives, and on the one on the right, we have Sunil Narayan working on his power hitting. So we achieve results through combinations of different programs. We have group sessions for beginners, then we go to personal one-to-one training and focus group sessions. We have early start programs for toddlers as early as 3 years old, which we took inspiration from the gymnastics societies. And we have a number of different tours that we facilitate to build that player experience. Some of these are regional, some of these are international, and we do hope to come to India for a tour in 2022, COVID permitting. Our player development also includes sports psychologists, dietitians, physical trainers, and even some media training so people can speak a lot better. We involve the use of technology. We have an array of gadgetry such as high-speed cameras, speed guns, bat sensors, and bowling machines with various degrees of precision. COVID has been a hill which we've had to be innovative to overcome. We started to do more one-to-one sessions. We launched a video series for parents and kids to follow along on the Cricket 360 network. And we've started online video consultations with our head coach. This one in particular surprised us because we were expecting subscribers from Trinidad. However, it quickly went global, and we had a lot of subscribers sending in their videos to the head coach from India, France, and other countries. Maybe we can talk about an app for that. Despite our performances, we're not prepared to stagnate. We continue to be innovative, and this presents several entrepreneurship and partnership opportunities. For instance, we'd like to replicate the KRC model of high performance to other countries of the Indian diaspora. Also, through partnership, we can trade ideas and experiences. For instance, in the West Indies, we are very good at creating hard-hitting, aggressive batsmen and fast bowlers, while India is extremely good at creating good spinners, classical batsmen, and master strategists. So through partnership and exchange, let's help create an Indian Kiran Pollard. And meanwhile, India can help us create our own West Indian Rahul Dravid that our team desperately needs. Ladies and gentlemen, whether it's through Sunil Gavaskar charming the West Indies in 1971 when he terrorized our fast bowlers, or Sunil Narayan working his wizardry in IPL today, cricket has always connected India and the diaspora. I thank you all for listening to my contribution today. I also say a special thank you to the Ministry of External Affairs, as well as the High Commissioner of India to Trinidad, Mr. Arun Kumar Sahu, and both their teams for this opportunity. As I close, I wish to thank the Indian authorities for the fantastic concept of ACAM, and personally, I'm grateful for the inclusion of the diaspora in these events. Congratulations to all involved, and free to take questions.
Thank you, Kiran. Thanks for your bilateral perspective of the cricket history, and also we're quite impressed by how your academy is contributing in bringing out ace cricketers, and you're using innovative, creative, and scientific coaching techniques. We also see your interest in visiting India in 22. That is this year, of course, if the conditions permit, and you're looking for partnerships with India. Let's hope there are some Indians We'll be looking for some partnership from you, and from there we can take it forward. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And if there will be any question, that will be in the end of the session, of course. And the
No problem.
questions, I would request people to put in questions in the chat box, please. Now, may I invite our third panelist today, that is Mr. Kundan Joshi. He's founder and CEO of the App Lab. App Lab is a leading app innovation firm focused on strategy, design, and development of apps and emerging technologies. The App Lab, with a team size of about 150 plus and 8 global offices, has built 600 plus apps in the last 14 years. The App Lab received the 2019, 20, and 21 Top Mobile App Developer Award for Canada and the US, and 2019 Top AI Developer Award. The App Lab was awarded the 21 Best Place to Work in Canada and 21 Best Place to Work in Technology Award. Over to you, Kundan, please.
Thank you very much. I hope you can hear me and see my slide as well.
Yes, of course, we can.
Wonderful, wonderful. So hello and namaste, everyone. Thank you. I really thank the Ministry of External Affairs for inviting me today to share my journey and my thoughts on the role of diaspora youth in innovation and new technologies. I live in Toronto, Canada, and I'm the founder and CEO of the App Lab, which is a leading app development firm in North America. I'd like to start with my journey, a better journey as an entrepreneur. I was born in Mumbai, moved to Canada as a teenager. I started studying at Western University as a software engineer. And during that time, I became an accidental entrepreneur. I discovered that during a summer job in Toronto, in tech sales, I discovered my passion to help people by solving their problems through technology and innovation. That led to my first business venture, which was selling high-speed internet at various malls in Ontario. And soon enough, in 2007, I launched the App Lab. The App Lab was launched a year before the iPhone was born. Primarily, it was a time when I took a bet, as my gut told me that smartphones and apps will impact human lives through creating better experiences. And I mean, throughout that journey, I've created a team that's in both Canada and India through my own personal network, being in both the countries, having born and brought up in India, and taken on taking on Canada as my I guess karma bhumi. In essence, it has allowed me to do that. Today, App Lab is now 14 years in business. We have created more than 600 apps now. We have 8 global offices, more than 150 people in the company. We have more than 70 investments in various startups in Canada and US through our accelerator, the Startup Lab, and a lot more to come there. We have helped more than 500 startups through one of our incubated startup called Eco, which is a startup community platform. And we are really vested in building the next breed of entrepreneurs in Canada and in North America as a whole, and soon globally. And we have done more than 100 plus projects in emerging technologies, AI, augmented reality, IoT. We are a research lab called the Innovation Lab. Myself today, I'm a proud Indo-Canadian. I believe who I am today is a result of the values of both the countries, my Janma Bhumi and my Karma Bhumi, and that has helped me be who I am. I'm committed through App Lab to enabling tech to positively impact human life, solve real problems that people face by using technology and deep technology. I'm committed to creating jobs both in Canada and India as I grow my company, and each of the startups I'm invested in are constantly growing towards a path to becoming a unicorn. I'm committed to boost innovation and entrepreneurship in both Canada and India through various startup platforms that I'm creating on the way. And I'm committed to mentoring immigrant youth and entrepreneurs in Canada. And through the various board of director positions I have, whether it's helping leaders or the future leaders, helping immigrants, helping students, and helping trade, I try and keep this commitment that I just mentioned to you. I want to share a few slides on what I believe the role that the diaspora youth can play in innovation and technology. I mean, obviously, should go without saying, but majority of the population or the workforce in tech in North America is millennials and Gen Zs. So they are the youth who are leading that, and a lot more to come. A lot of Gen Zs haven't graduated yet or are not eligible to work yet, but they are mostly interested in the tech sector, and they're all tech savvy or even tech native in essence. The majority of youth are investors. They consider social responsibility, the sustainability as important factors when it comes to their investment. A majority of them have made impact investment of some sort on an annual basis, and majority of them are also very philanthropic. In my opinion, the future of innovation lies in fostering technology towards creating impact organizations. Impact organizations that can balance the triple bottom line: people, planet, profit. And the mindset of the youth, as you saw in the previous slides, is really set to take on this responsibility, in my opinion. As well as the next generation of family office are becoming the catalyst to investments in tech and impact social enterprises. I'm actually currently creating an organization in Canada to bring together the next generation of family offices from the diaspora to make investments, so to make similar investments in tech and impact projects. Diaspora youth now are a lot more inclined than the general population towards tech. They're inherently more innovative as a result of a growth mindset, forced by being out of their comfort zone more often than not, coming out of learning to live in a new country or learning to be a minority. And hence, I believe diaspora youth will play a big role. And you're already seeing that in the future of innovation and technology. Some key ways that I think they can play a role. One, acting as a bridge to connect businesses outside India to opportunities to expand in India. I have helped several startups, several businesses in Canada set up shop in India, and I would definitely love to see that process of setting up a new business getting easier. As I can see, it's already getting easier. I would love to see the same trajectory. Connecting businesses in India to opportunities to expand outside of India. And at the App Lab, we have provided such opportunities to dozens of Indian businesses. As of now, I've relied on my personal network to enable this, but I would love to see an effective matchmaking system that can facilitate greater trade. Invest in Indian startups. We've been trying to facilitate that. Would love to see more opportunities and easier ways to do that as well. Participate in investment opportunities in India, connect Indian investors with global investment opportunities, and then in tech, AI cooperation between India and other countries, as well as technology cooperation between India and other countries. And I would love to see the facilitation of greater collaboration between super clusters, centers of excellence, R&D labs, universities between both these countries, which is already happening. I'd love to see a lot more of that. And partnership on research in areas such as AI and blockchain and metaverse, IoT, augmented reality, and so on. And lastly, opportunities for Indian talent to participate in global innovative projects and philanthropic opportunities in India. And I believe the diaspora youth can play a big role as bridges in all of these. Thank you very much for having me here, and looking forward to the questions in the next session.
Thank you, Kundan. Well, you call yourself as an accidental entrepreneur, but your story has been phenomenal. To hear that you are working both for India and Canada is very heartwarming, and also to see that that you solve real problems of people. Commitment for your commitment for creating more jobs, and also for mentoring young people. Also, the takeaway from your from your presentation, I would say, is that in US, more and more people, more and more youth, rather from 40 to 50% are going in tech sector, and majority are sustainable and responsible investors, and they're also looking for having an impact on social enterprises. So we feel that that would be the general trend of youth and Generation Z, in coming years. Also, what you're looking for is better matchmaking facility for India and diaspora, and of course, the diaspora's role as bridge between India and the other countries. Thank you so much. I'm sure our listeners are very keenly looking at what you have to offer, and they'll get back to you soon. Thank you. Thank you so much. And now we move to the next panelist, who is Mr. Bharat Sharma from Dublin. He's founder and CEO of Monsoon Consulting. Monsoon Consulting is Europe's leading e-commerce and content management system solution provider agency. Monsoon Consulting's commerce technology powers over 700 million in transaction value per annum for our clients, meaning for Monsoon Consulting's clients around the world. The business has offices in Dublin, UK, Portugal, and Ukraine. Over the years, the business has been working with some of the leading industry clients in UK and Ireland, including brands like Cisco Food, Topline, Heat Merchant, Black Hawk Networks, Kilkenny Shop, Woody's DIY, and Liverpool Foot Club. So over to you, Bharat.
Good morning, everyone. I'm just sharing my screen. Just 1 minute, please. Let me know when you can see my screen.
Yes, we can see your screen.
Brilliant. So good morning from Dublin. It's about 6:30 in the morning. I have a very strong cup of coffee with me, so just keeping me awake, and let me know if I need to slow down a bit. I have tendency to just speed up a bit. So my name is Bharat Sharma. I live in Dublin in Ireland, and the beginning of my career, or as a background, I come from Jaipur, from Rajasthan. I come from a traditional middle-class family, and all the way schooling in Hindi medium. No one in my family ever had entrepreneur or science or technology background. And prior to moving to Europe, I had no overseas connection when I started my student life as a young child. I did a computer engineering from Engineering College Kota in 1996. And over the years, my last full-time job in India was with TCS as an Oracle programmer. And then as life moves on and evolves, and my friend earlier said, accidental entrepreneurs, I migrated accidentally to Europe. I worked as Oracle contractor in different parts of UK, Ireland, and Amsterdam. And then my last full-time job before I moved to entrepreneurship was about having a European Union IT head in one of the departments in Dublin. Then I founded a mobile tech company called MuIQ. I also founded IndiaResult.com in India, which is one of the large education portal publishing results and university applications. Today, I'm the founder and CEO of Monsoon Consulting, which is Europe's leading commerce and content solution company. Platform provided by us are empowering transaction worth 900 million euros per annum. And we are known as one of the leading expert for complex B2B e-commerce solutions. I have offices in all these locations. And as a business and a natural evolution from an IT services, we are moving towards more of a product platform company. So we just recently launched a product called Apex, which is a B2B e-commerce product with very strong innovation and cutting edge features, including conversational commerce, artificial intelligence, chatbots, and this project has partially funded by European Union R&D grants. So I have a quite close association with how the R&D projects works and how the grant system and European frameworks are aligned with it. So just for some observation about India, but before we say anything, I must congratulate all the officials from India, the government, and our youth, we are already doing really good. We haven't been so bad over the years. The brand India is on the rise. We have CEOs in everywhere in the world, right from Microsoft to Adobe to Twitter. India is a great brand when it comes to innovation, technology, and obviously we can do a lot better, and hence we are talking about it. How can we leverage our momentum and make that even better for all of us? And for youth from India, bar you are an innovator, you are entrepreneur or a skilled professional simply looking for a job, only thing I would like to say is there is a lot of opportunity out here, and demand is absolutely outweighing the supply. We need work. Even person like myself and all of my colleague entrepreneurs in Europe, we are consistently looking for good people, good partner, good platform to work with. My area is obviously around e-commerce, AI, and chatbots. So I wouldn't be worried about the work. The key is how do we make the best of the opportunity we are on. So these are some of my suggestions for my fellow youth and diaspora people and my young friends from India. First of all, I would say is you need to be very niche and be very specific. So when you're trying to partner with someone or you're trying to reach out to someone for a job or a business opportunity, you need to have an expertise in a specific area where you say, I am the champion of AI, or I could do the chatbot, or I'm really, really good providing this platform that makes sports academy successful or make you a great cricketer. Without the niche, it's very hard to stand out, and it's very hard to get an ongoing engagement for you. You need to be very, very transparent. So when you're talking to someone and if they're asking you questions about, so tell me, how do you work? What's your terms and condition? How do you charge? Can you even deliver that within the time frame? Please be direct, please be honest, and just say no if you can't do it, because opportunity comes knocking a few times, and if you disappoint yourself, it's not going to keep coming back to you. There's a very large competition, and we are competing against some of the best brain from countries like China, Eastern Europe. So let's be very, very specific and transparent. And when you're looking for your product to be internationalized, when you're looking to collaborate with someone, are you ready to localize? If you're giving a product facility to Europe, or you're going to German market or Spanish, can you do the language in the local country? Are you sure that you are prepared for hosting your SaaS-based platform on cloud that is within EU, so you're not breaching the GDPR connection? So think about what are the local things you need to do if you're looking to expand your global footprint. Interoperability has to be absolutely important. So think about GDPR, the data protection laws, areas and the point subject knowledge, which is very sensitive to the domain and the market you are aiming to expand to. And always prepare, do your research, know where you're going, what is their expectation. Whatever great things you could do is fine, but what you could do for them, that is the key. This is why you win business. This is why you get research opportunity and collaborate. And for innovators, for tech companies, that's my background, you need to be absolute passionate about the quality of your work. The jugaad style thing is just because it's working, it's not going to be cutting the mustard for us guys. Be social, networking, use the diaspora, people like myself and my earlier panelist members, they all are offering to help. Tap into us, reach out to us if it could be of any help. Reach to the local Indian embassies or consulate. There is a lot of support and opportunity available. Please use your social elements. Be innovative to stand out. Sometimes you might not have a unique technology, but how do you do the job? How do you communicate? How do you position your brand? Even that innovation will help you out. Just be unique and stand out. And obviously, now is the time to be more confident and take a chance, as my friends come out. There's a lot of opportunity for our youth now. Some of the observation from the policy point of view, I think India as a governance is doing amazingly well. So many great initiatives so far. But one of the things I would love to see now is focus on R&D, intellectual-based wealth we could create for our country. And we might consider taking inspiration from programs like Horizon 2020 in Europe and similar programs in US, where there is a demand request on a team-based research and then government is incentivizing businesses and universities, providing grant, giving them tax benefits, and absolutely creating wealth for the country for a long-term basis. The other initiative I would love to see is Indians' data protection laws. I think we should try to align our laws with the most industrial advanced countries like US and European Union. If GDPR adequacy is achieved in India, it makes my life so much easier to use a platform from India or outsource or hire more people in India. At the minute, it's a big inheritance, big inertia for me to do that. And education system, we have already spoken a lot about it. I'm sure we all know, but we could tweak a few things to improve and continually delivering the best quality of resources. And then the most important part for me is I think now we are so confident and doing well, we should perhaps use the IPL analogy and open the door for talent worldwide. Let the researchers, subject knowledge expert from everywhere else to come to India and work with our workforce and let them have the exposure and mix that expertise. And that would really empower our youth. That's me. And it's been a pleasure talking to you. I look forward for panel discussions afterwards. I am here to help any of my fellow country people. These are my contacts. Reach out to me. It'll be my pleasure if I could be of any help. Thank you. Namaste.
Thank you, Bharat. You've shared your journey as you had no commerce, or rather you can say business background, but how you kind of came forward and made a mark. And thank you for all the good wishes which you have for India and your, I would say, so from your own experience, you have certain, you can say, suggestion or guidance for Indian youth, where you're saying, of course, right, that there are a lot of opportunities in Europe, but what you say that Indians who want to tap on those opportunities, they should have expertise in some specific area, what you call a niche area. They should be transparent and they should as far as possible localize, maybe learn the language and be able to kind of conduct in that language. Or there should be interoperability, time zone, and also they should know about data protection regimes. Also, Indians should be research oriented, and finally, but not the least, that they should be really passionate about high quality work. Then the Indian youth should be good at networking, or they should try to find out, friends, whether in diaspora or otherwise, should be innovative and be confident. And that's the way forward. Also, takeaway is that there should be some reforms from government. Government has done many reforms, but there should be more focus on research and development, and if possible, incentivize academies and industry for this R&D. Also, reform in data protection laws, and also India should be able to attract talent, maybe in IPL style, as you say. Okay, thank you so much for this, and we'll come back to you during Q&A. And now we move forward to our next panelist from South Africa, Mr. Rahul Jain. He is co-founder and CEO of Peach Payments. Rahul Jain has a strategy, and he manages strategy and operations for Peach Payments at a global level and also locally in various countries where the company has operations. Peach Payments provides electronic payment solutions to merchants and other online businesses, enabling them to monetize customers in emerging markets. Peach Payments' specific focus is on Africa, where the local infrastructure requires a unique and tailored approach to online payments in each of these markets. Peach Payments is based out of Cape Town in South Africa and currently has operations in South Africa, Kenya, and Mauritius. Over to you, Rahul, please.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. Rahul here. I think Sanjay ji mentioned earlier that 9th January was the day Gandhiji returned from South Africa to India. So it's fitting that I join you from Cape Town in South Africa. Just a bit about me. I grew up in Delhi, and as we do, did an engineering in Bangalore, then went out for my MBA, ended up in Europe, and then worked in Boston for a while, and then moved to Cape Town, the other end of the world, to start Peach Payments. So yeah, what we do is it's just we're a payment service provider. So think, if you're in India, think Razorpay, PayU. If you're in the US, think Stripe for Africa. For today, I just thought I'll share a bit about my experience of working in Africa, and also what is the opportunity for Indian businesses, the Indian diaspora, and Indian tech startups in Africa. So yeah, as Speech Payments, we provide a payment solution to any business that sells a product or service through a digital channel. Whether it's the Flipkarts of India, Kalyan's on the call. So similar to the Flipkarts of India, of Africa, we work with these businesses and we provide the payment channels. But what? So the reason why I ended up in Africa, I think Africa represents such a massive opportunity. It's 1.4 billion people, and 60% of the population of the continent is under 25 years. 50% of the population is under the age of 15, and over the next decade, there's going to be almost 300 million more youth in Africa in this time period. So for Indian businesses and Indian tech startups, this represents a massive opportunity. We're seeing a leapfrogging of legacy commerce. Smartphone penetration is increasing at an incredible pace. Africa is not a mobile first, it's actually a mobile only market where consumers are only accessing the internet from their smartphones. And this represents a huge opportunity for Indian tech startups. As a business in South Africa, we use Freshworks and Freshdesk, and we use a lot of these Indian SaaS platforms and businesses that have started out of India. What's also very interesting, and as I have expanded Peach across now Kenya and Mauritius, there's a very well-established diaspora on the ground, and this is a massive help, right? So as an Indian citizen living in South Africa and launching a business, and then trying to grow it across the continent, every country I've traveled to, there's always Indians there, and we're always involved in most of the businesses in those regions. So that becomes a phenomenal bridge for us, and that makes a huge advantage. And at the end of the day, there's an opportunity for us to partner and contribute, not just to our own growth and prosperity, but also to local development. And you see the change that tech and that these opportunities can create at a local level on the ground over here. So from as an Indian citizen living abroad, I think there's a few things that I've seen over the past years. I think one thing Mr. Khan said earlier was make in India, make for the world. I think that makes tech especially has made it so much easier for us to export that product or that service at a global level. And that makes a big difference. So how do we create further opportunities for Indian tech businesses to be accessing consumers and markets in Africa? I was recently speaking to one of the founders of a large ed tech business in India, and a startling fact was a lot of their students were actually coming out of Nigeria. A lot of the students that were accessing their courses were Nigerian students. And the conversation we were having was, how do we help them get paid for these from African consumers who want to access these platforms? So I think understanding and leveraging these opportunities that exist now at a global scale makes a huge difference. I was also surprised to learn about we have over 200 missions across the world. So a great example that comes to mind is Enterprise Singapore. I mean, Enterprise Singapore, what they do is they're basically promoting Singaporean businesses across the world. I mean, I can tell you over the past 5 years, I have been, Enterprise Singapore has connected with me many times in figuring out how can I help Singaporean businesses launch their product or service in Africa. So how do we leverage our missions and create more of these opportunities? There's been a marked change. I mean, I've been here for 10 years, and this is the first time that an Indian mission has reached out and connected. And, full kudos to Mr. Babu, who's this Consul General in Cape Town. These are the kind of connects and opportunities that you're seeing that, you can see the change. But how do we accelerate and create more of these opportunities? There's many, many of us sitting across the globe, and we can create really a powerful network through this experience. Yeah, so that's a bit about me and what we're doing, and what are the opportunities I see for us as a global community.
Okay, thank you, Rahul. Yes, and thank you for sharing the opportunities which exist for Indians in Africa, and you're sharing that why Africa, because of course it has this great demographics which are very exciting and futuristic. So there's a lot of opportunities for Indian startups. There is a very well established Indian diaspora in various businesses which can work as bridge, for Indians or Indian youth or Indian startups in Africa. And of course, using missions, and of course these businesses, how do we leverage all this to get those opportunities or create those opportunities? Okay, thank you for your for insights, Rahul. Now we move to our next panelist. In fact, next two panelists are from India. So I invite now Mr. Kalyan Krishnamurti, CEO of Flipkart. Well, we all know Flipkart Online Services Private Limited owns and operates e-commerce website. The marketplace provides books, movies, music, games, electronics, software peripherals, apparel, shoes, and you name it, and kitchen appliances. Also recently added groceries and fintech. Kalyan at first joined Flipkart in June 2016, and then in January 17, he was made the CEO of Flipkart. Under Kalyan's leadership, Flipkart expanded into groceries and fintech. He also launched voice assistant and regional languages interface. Okay, before joining Flipkart, Kalyan Krishnamurti was also the managing director of Tiger Global. Now over to you, Kalyan.
Very good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm delighted to be part of this event. I thank the Honorable Minister, Shri V. Muralidharan, for the encouraging words. It's an honor to be present among distinguished luminaries, Shri Sanjay Bhattacharya, Srimati Manika Jain, and Shri Amitabh Kant. India has the largest diaspora population in the world, and they can play a very big role in our efforts to become an inclusive, equitable, and prosperous nation. Their understanding of the country they reside in and the ties that they have developed can help identify opportunities for business, technology, and investments. Our country is undergoing transformative socio-economic changes. This is being driven by the efforts of the Government of India under the leadership of Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi ji, different state governments, the public and the private sector. Through our collective commitment, we have improved our global ranking in the ease of doing business as well as on the Global Innovation Index. With India progressing strongly on the path of development, the Indian diaspora can contribute to solving India-specific challenges. This can be done through investments to support initiatives such as Make in India, Skill India, Digital India, and others to propel the desired double-digit growth. In addition, entrepreneurship will be critical to India's sustained growth, and we are fortunate that this aspiration runs deep in every Indian, irrespective of where they live. It is a spirit essential for achieving economic growth and addressing many societal challenges. Tech startups in India have captured the imagination of investors across the world. As of just last month, December 2021, India has 81 unicorns, and 44 of these unicorns became unicorns just in the last 12 months. There are many startups today that are trying to address the biggest socio-economic problems of present times, and many others that are developing local solutions. I can say with great confidence that Indian businesses and startups have the potential to innovate not just to address India's, but the whole world's needs. What they require to succeed is guidance, technology support, financial investments to develop and scale up their ideas to the fullest extent possible. The Government of India and private sector have actively been working in this direction, and we also invite the Indian diaspora to augment these efforts and help us build new international linkages. As the CEO of Flipkart, I note with pride and satisfaction how our homegrown company has embraced inclusivity, empowerment, technology, and innovation at every stage of our journey. This is a classic example of how technology innovation has helped to build and empower an ecosystem that is contributing to a strong, resilient, and prosperous new India. I humbly invite all of you to try and do the same in your sector of interest or expertise and in your own capacity as an individual, a business, or an investor. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you, and my best wishes to all of you on this celebration of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav. Thank you.
Thank you, Kalyan. Yes, you're right that we're moving towards a very inclusive and equitable development in India. And of course, your ideas about how investment in startups from abroad or from diaspora can, help this further this growth. Rightly said, there are 81 unicorns, and how well the public and private sector are working together. And that calls for our diaspora to engage with us all the more and be in this journey of development and growth together. And especially, these are very exciting times in India where innovation, new technologies, and the youth are driving the future of the country. Thank you so much. Now we come to our last panelist, Mr. Chakradhar Gade, who is co-founder of Country Delight. Country Delight is a globally unique made-in-India startup that is attempting to take a fresh approach to the Indian dairy and fresh produce space, using data and technology to innovate in consumer connectivity, products, and supply chain. Mr. Gade has been working on the concept of Country Delight since 2013, and now this concept has really worked, and it is, I think, so taking at least, I would say, Delhiites by really a great delight and strong. Invite to over to you, Mr. Gade.
Thank you very much, ma'am, for those kind words. And Honorable Amitabh Kant sir, Muralidharan sir, Sanjay sir, great to connect with you. It's an honor of mine. It's my pleasure to be here, on the 75th anniversary of the Indian independence. It's a great moment of pride for every Indian. My name is Chakradhar. I am co-founder of Country Delight. We are a direct-to-home consumer tech brand delivering natural food essentials directly from the farmer to the doorstep of the customer. We operate in 13 cities across 11 states of the country, spanning a supply chain that has thousands of kilometers and through all the four corners of the country. Milk is our entry or the hook into every household that we deliver, and we deliver from farmers to customers within 24 to 36 hours of milking. We have a very strong tech-driven supply chain thinking, which allows us to have full control over the entire value chain of the product, right from the farmer to the customer. In fact, with strong government support for food essentials as a category and with our very strong tech-first thinking, we are one of the few businesses that has maintained 100% reliability with our farmers and 100% fulfillment with our customers, even through the worst of the pandemic. We live in a world today where most of the food that people consume is either over-processed or comes from unknown sources. Our vision is to bring back the basics of food, like in the age-old tradition India, and we intend to do that by using tech for good, by solving problems such as traceability through blockchain, supply chain through real-time monitoring, and minimal processing through low-cost IoT tech. We are truly made in India business model with the aim that every Indian deserves the most natural, purest, and the freshest products. We believe that the future of food is in ensuring that every customer gets the most natural products directly to their doorstep every morning. This thought of bringing back the traditional ways of India with this very new approach excites us the most. We live in an amazing time in India, just like Kalyan was mentioning in his previous conversation. I have a 9-year-old son. I keep telling him that India is the best place to be in today with a huge set of opportunities today. Under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi ji, we've built a very, very strong and vibrant startup ecosystem that I'm very proud to be a part of. It has given entrepreneurs like us build businesses like Country Delight in a span of 5 to 7 years. In addition to just building having the pleasure of building a good business, we also derive a lot of sense of purpose and satisfaction by the fact that a small business among the thousands of startups that are present in the country, like Country Delight, is able to impact tens of thousands of farmers and entrepreneurs on a daily basis in a very, very positive way. So I'm very thankful again, to the government and to Prime Minister Modi ji for, making this happen. And I would only submit to the government to keep encouraging this vibrant and thriving ecosystem. In addition, I would also like to, really say kudos to the government's efforts in improving the ease of business in doing India by making everything online. I would also suggest that the government look for opportunities in connecting small farmers in an aggregate online model that would also help agribusinesses like ours be more connected to farmers and help improve lives of thousands of more farmers as well. Today, I'm a very proud Indian on the occasion of this 75th anniversary of Indian independence. I thank the Ministry of External Affairs for inviting me on this youth PBD. Thank you once again. Jai Hind.
Thank you, Chakradhar. Yes, yours is truly a made in India success story, of country delight. And you do say that there's a government support and tech support together was able to kind of to get 100% reliability and delivery, which is remarkable. Of course, we do agree future of India is very bright. And what you do say that, yes, government should be encouraging opportunities to aggregate farmers for using technology in agribusinesses. Okay, with these words, I would now kind of open the session for Q&A. Okay, we have first question for you, Kalyan. The question is, you are the real story, real shining example of India's e-commerce system. Do you plan to take it overseas?
No, madam. Actually, for the consumer business, we do not plan to take it overseas. The opportunity in India, at least for the next 10 years, is massive. I think we are all scratching the surface. The penetration of digital commerce in India is mid-single digits. So we just want to continue expanding in India. We do have a business where we export technology, especially commerce technology, commerce systems, to the rest of the world. Today, we have about 4 customers, Latin America and the Middle East. And that's a business we would like to continue expanding. But outside of that, the core consumer business, we would like to just continue serving the Indian consumer. Thank you.
Thank you. Next question is for you, Kiran Rampat. Although sports culture in India has taken off, but it has not reached the desired potential in proportion to the talent that exists in Indian youth. How do you think we can improve and build upon the sports infrastructure in India?
I can draw parallel to what happens in the West Indies. In the West Indies, at around 15 or 16, when you have to make a decision on whether you become a full-time sportsman or you go into some academics, a lot of the sportsmen and women fall away and they go into academics. What we're trying to do is merge it two, so you have something like in the US where you have a GED program that sportsmen can become educated, so they have a safety net to fall back on while doing high performance training. So I think if that can be applied in India, where you have a merger between academia and sports, you can have a lot more sports people, a lot more talented players going into the Olympics or making it professional. Yeah.
Thank you. Next question is for Rahul Jain. Many Indian startups are going global. How do you think we can integrate an international payment gateway like yours with the requirement of these startups? I mean, basically, they want to know about regulations, etc.
Yeah, I think that's one of the biggest challenges, right? Like as you go global, payments is locally regulated, and this is where there are global businesses and people like us. That's what we do, is we'll help you solve for that from a local perspective. But I think the way the ecosystem and the world is evolving, this will become an afterthought. How does payments become an afterthought? How do you drive payments to what it is with Uber today, right? You get into an Uber, you get out, and it's done, and that you're not thinking about paying for the Uber. It's an afterthought. And I think that's what will happen for commerce as well globally. And that's what we are trying to work towards and saying, how do we enable that global commerce from a local perspective while making it an afterthought for the consumer?
That's really kind of very futuristic, or I would say very exciting thought. One doesn't think about payments, as one is taking services or anything. Okay, next question is for Chakradhar Gade. To build up a new brand name in India in a sector which was already so competitive. This is a new example of how innovation at grassroots can be delivered in a novel way to the consumers in the city. What are the other sectors you feel lack innovation and how young entrepreneurs can tap them?
So I personally think that it is more to do with a new way of thinking, putting the customer at center of everything that you do. Personally, I am from financial services background. So was my partner when we started Country Delight. We didn't even know how to build the business. We didn't know what milk was, what processing was. Everything that we have done in this business was keeping customer at the center and understanding the customer and solving problems for the customer. And that helps you really, build something from a very first principles approach rather than, taking what is commonly available across the globe and then trying to, replicate it in India. But at the same time, if you see what is happening across and then, see what your customers need, you will find the right solutions. And I think in every sphere of India, there is huge amount of opportunities. As a brand, when we started with milk. Today, our ambition is to capture the entire kitchen with great products that delight our customers. And every field that anyone touches today has immense scope of opportunities because consumers have opened up. They're very clear on what they want, and all we need to do is just listen to them.
Thank you, Chakradhar. Okay, are there any more questions? Oh, we don't have, since we don't have any more questions. So before I close, I would just say that the takeaway from today's deliberations is that many of our innovators had no experience, no background of business or of entrepreneurship or whatever. However, they had that passion and they had an idea. And so what is great is if you have an idea, you have a passion, and you have a way or knowledge how to go about it, the technology behind it or whatever. If you can use it, you can kind of really change the way business is done in that particular sector. You can also change the lives of many people. Also, we find that there are many opportunities, in various parts of the world, particularly, our panelists said, particularly they mentioned Europe and Africa. For Indian youth, yes, not only Europe and Africa, I'm sure there will be opportunities elsewhere. But what they need is that they have to have an idea. They should be an expertise in a niche area. They have to be very passionate about it, and the quality should be top notch. And they should be able to articulate their idea or their thought, and with somebody who's in the business or with somebody who's there, as a bridge, and form partnerships or otherwise get some mentorship, and then go ahead and plunge into it wholeheartedly. Also, there were some suggestions regarding some of the reforms which need to be done in the government. We've taken note of that, especially in R&D, and where also in terms of data protection and some funding in those R&D, whether it may be industry and or organizations or institutions. Then there was also our Indian, innovators do say that there's a lot of excitement or exciting things happening, exciting opportunities available in India. And yes, we do call all of our diaspora friends to look into India, look at various sectors. Also, what Mr. Kant did say, he mentioned few sunrise sectors. So there, where you can really come, see, look for opportunities, and innovate to do. Whether you can innovate, you can provide solutions, or you can also have partnerships with Indian entrepreneurs, Indian youth or Indian businesses. So that's the way forward. And of course, the Ministry of External Affairs, our missions abroad or whatever will always be there to facilitate any such dialogue further. With those words, I would like to close today's session. And I wish you all a very good day, a good Sunday. And once again, I really thank you for taking out and sparing your time, on a Sunday, and especially for our panelists who have been, I think, so been awake for almost an entire night or so, on this day. So I'm really very glad and thankful to you, and a very, very good day, Sunday to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.